What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Nicklaus Gray, aka One Must Fall Gaming's PKNG, aka Blip Grip Grissy. And today, I'm gonna go over the weekend that I spent with my first Fujifilm glass, the 33mm f1.4 that I got from lensrental.com. Now, they're certainly not sponsoring this video, but I'm so impressed with their turnaround for shipping, the lens, and making it a super easy process to return that I had to shout them out. Now, you're probably wondering, what is this large flowery thing on my head? And to that I say, mind your business. Let's get started. Thursday is when the lens got in. I immediately tore through the packaging to the meat and potatoes. The lens came in its own sealed and padded casing and like this small little lens bag. So it's like a little box that you just pop open. As soon as I popped this thing on, I was smit. This is actually my first time using any sort of Fuji glass, and it's my first time using any sort of glass with an autofocus. So the speed at which I was able to capture things was unheard of up until this point. I immediately went outside and I shot for a good 30 minutes before I had to hop on a work meeting. As soon as that finished though, I walked around Golden Hour and then walked around my neighborhood and got some good shots. It includes like the small shopping center we have around here and my favorite taco spot. There was also a couple of shots I got at the middle school around the way. It's like right there. This thing is a beast. It was really fun to work with. I also figured I could really lock down my understanding of both pre-exposure and shutter speed before the rest of the weekend. Real quickly, the build quality of this thing is another reason I felt so comfy shooting with it. I think I have an IG video of me clicking the aperture ring. This aperture ring? Wait, let's see if you can. Oh, God damn it, that's nice. I got this lens for 2 events this week, which was one, Christmas toy drive / Smash tournament hosted by Backyard Smash and Bermuda at the Riverside Game Lab on Friday. Now, it's normally a dark ass venue, so it's gonna be a good challenge. As well, there's going to be a Thankmas party on Saturday that's gonna have everybody dressed to the nines and probably going to be another low light situation with possibly a ring light. Fortunately, they actually had a ring light. Just saved my life for when people wanted like their actual portraits taken and whatnot. But I want to be prepared regardless. So I was going to practice prior to both anyway, because that's just how I give it up. Luckily, there was a local in Rialto that I could shoot called It's Time to Duel inside a card shop. This is where I discovered the importance of shutter priority and how critical it is to pair a somewhat slower shutter speed to maintain the integrity of like ambient lighting around, because you know, there's like neon lighting and the outside lighting that you would see at like liquor stores and stuff like that. It'll look really good if you know how to apply it to what you were shooting. I was not familiar with it before then, so this was a great time to test it out. Funnily enough, the power actually went out at the tournament and it forced me to figure this revelation out on the fly. I also had Dave's hot chicken. It was bad. Like, bad. Don't eat there. It was my first time having Dave's hot chicken and I left mad. Anyways, so Friday comes along and I took a bus from San Bernardino to downtown Riverside. The goal was to shoot some good street shots before it got dark and then use the building lights to create interesting compositions. I hopped off the bus and I was immediately flagged down by this older black dude in a BMW. He asked me if I could shoot some photos for him and his car for money. And I told him I'm just down here in downtown Riverside to practice, which I was. So he gave me a 20 and I took maybe 8 pictures of him in his car. And then he booked me for an event he's having on the 30th and gives me his number. Will this be my first paid photography gig? Who the hell knows? But I'll be sure to record it if that's the case. It was just random and it was cool. And I think it's also a testament to if you're doing what you want to do with your life, opportunities will seek you out. But you actually got to be applying yourself, which is why I was in downtown Riverside in the first place. I continued my trek and got some really great building shots. The 33mm looks so good, wide open. It's nuts. It really did nicely as the sun began to set. All the environmental lights started to take precedence. I retreated into the venue around 5 p.m. I needed to help bring the toys in. They were in boxes and they were already significantly filled, which was really, really impressive. Unfortunately, because of daylight savings, I didn't have too much time to shoot outside, but I was like, I'm gonna make up for it by getting some really, really good shots inside the venue. Because I came earlier was the perfect time to get my shooting settings correct before the venue started packing out. Because if you've never been to the Riverside Game Lab, it gets packed fast. After having the debacle the night prior at It's Time to Duel, I was just going to use the settings that I use at It's Time to Duel for Riverside Game Labs. Guys, Those were perfect settings. I was getting this backlit portraiture and all these creamy ass bokehs and just these wonderful arcade pictures. Like, it just looked and felt really good. A really great event, and it was super duper impressive to see the local Inland Empire Smash community come together for such like a worthwhile event. It just added a cherry on top that I was able to get great photos. So the Thankmas party was going to be the proving ground for everything that I had learned during the week with the 33mm. So everything that I attempted, I was hoping to apply it to this specific event because I knew that this was gonna be one of those, kind of got to get it right the first time. You don't really have time to practice. When you go to Smash events, people aren't expecting good portraiture of themselves or portraits in general. So they just, like, that's a happy surprise. But when you're dressed to the nines and you've got like your suits on, stuff like that, you want to make sure you get great pictures of yourself. Shoot, let me say, I'll just let the footage and the pictures I post speak for themselves. There's definitely an aura. I like to catch people at their most human and unpracticed, you know, because it's cool to catch candidates. Like, it's watching people be human. However, I will say I need to improve on giving instructions for modeling because not everybody knows what to do in front of a camera. So definitely kept that down for the next time that I do an event like this. And overall, I was very happy with how it all came out. As well, the weather resistance in the 33mm was a superb boon when it came to leaving the party because it was pouring by the time we wanted to head back home. So shout out to 33mm. It got a little water on it. It was like, which is beautiful. Overall, the 33mm f1.4 was a joy to shoot with, and it put a battery in my back for future shoots and the like. That being said, I can't at this point in my photography career justify an $800 lens. However, I have looked into the XC35mm f2, and I'll be picking that up very soon so I can keep a nifty 50 equivalent in the pocket at all times. I definitely need one for my overall collection moving forward. However, that's gonna be all for this week's video. If you like what you saw, a comment, a like, or a subscription would be absolutely appreciated, and it goes a long way. For real, for real. Till next time, I'm going to go return this lens. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you later. Peace and chicken grease.